الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا ثم أما بعد. الإمام النووي رحمه الله تعالى يقول في كتاب الأدب من رياض الصالحين The Book of Good Manners in رياض الصالحين باب استحباب التبشير والتهنئة بالخير Chapter The Excellence of Conveying Glad Tidings and Congratulations. وأورد في هذا حديثا طويلا. He mentioned a longer hadith which is a story. The story of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari رضي الله تعالى عنه and the story in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim متفق عليه أنه توضأ في بيته ثم خرج. Abu Musa رضي الله تعالى عنه, the young companion, he made wudu and he left home. So after making wudu he left home. قال لألزمنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ولأكونن معه يومي هذا. He said, today I'm gonna go and stay with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم the entire day. Wherever he goes, I'll go with him. So I'll be like his entourage. If he needs any help, I'll be around. If he needs assistance, I'll be there for him. Basically, I'm going to be around the Prophet ﷺ to serve him. Of course, it's a great honor to serve the Prophet ﷺ. And of course, in return, what is he going to get? He's going to get the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a lot of knowledge and barakah and blessing. He said, فَجَاءَ الْمَسْجِدِ. So he said, Abu Musa, I went to the masjid. فَسَأَلَ عَنَ النَّبِيِّ صَلى الله عليه وسلم فَقَالُوا وَجَّهَهَا هُنَا. He asked, well, where did the Prophet ﷺ go? They told him he went to so and so place. قال فذهب إلى هنا. So he immediately said, فخرجت على أثره أسأل عنه. I kept going, tracing his basically his route صلى الله عليه وسلم and his way, asking which way did he go صلوات الله وسلام عليه حتى دخل بئر أريس, until he entered the area or the location where بئر أريس was or used to be. As a matter of fact, it's still there actually. بئر أريس is the water well of Aris. This water well of Aris, it's close to where the University of Medina, which I actually studied and we graduated from, used to be. It's a kind of very now urban area. There's a lot of houses in the area, and that location is still kind of left as is almost, with the surrounding with fence. That was my memories actually back in more than 10 years ago. I'm not sure exactly how it looks like right now, but eventually that is the bi'r, the water well, where the Prophet ﷺ, with this incident happened. And considering right now the distance from Medina to that place, it's about actually 4 or 5 miles. So I'm not sure how the Prophet ﷺ went to that place. Did he go walking or riding? Allah Ta'ala, but eventually he went there salawatullahi wa salam alayhi. فدخل بئر أريس فجلست عند الباب حتى قضى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حاجته وتوضأ. He said, when I heard the Prophet ﷺ went there, I sat down at the door till he had relieved himself and performed wudu. So the Prophet ﷺ, maybe he just, because the water is there, so he cleaned himself, he made wudu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قال فقمت إليه. So I went to see the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فإذا هو قد جلس على بئر أريس وتوسط قفها وكشف عن ساقيه ودلاهما في البئر. He said, when I came in to see the Prophet ﷺ, I saw him sitting on the platform of the well, on the top of the well. I saw him sitting there, ﷺ, with his shanks uncovered and his legs dangling in the well. So if you can imagine now, visualizing that, someone when you sit around on the basically the border or the wall that is protect the platform of the well, how would it look like? He would be sitting down, ﷺ, grabbing his thawb, perhaps, and holding it very well, so that means will reveal his shanks, salawatullah wa salam alayhi, and his legs will be dangling into the water well. Not necessarily reaching the water, but at least into the well itself. قال فسلمت عليه ثم انصرفت. I gave salam to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then I went out. Maybe the Prophet needed the privacy, so I left him there, and I stayed at the door of that water well. It was like a garden. Until today, actually, it's in a garden. So he said, basically, I was guarding the door for the Prophet ﷺ, or the gate for the Prophet ﷺ. فَقُلْتُ لَأَكُونَنَّ بَوَّابَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. I'm going to be the guard for the Prophet ﷺ, so the doorkeeper for him, for today. قال فجاء أبو بكر رضي الله عنه. After some time, suddenly Abu Bakr as-Siddiq shows up. Inshallah, Rasulullah is in there now. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, such a great honor. فقال فدفع الباب فقلت من هذا? He wanted to come in. I said, who's there? فقال أبو بكر. He said, Abu Bakr. By the way, this is one of the etiquettes of seeking permission. When you seek permission, when you want to come into someone's house, of course you usually knock on the door, ring the bell, or even give him a phone call that we are at the door right now. If there was no door or the door was open, that doesn't mean you come in. You need still to seek permission. The least you could say is to knock on the door and say, Assalamu alaikum, adkhul, Assalamu alaikum, can I come in? Because maybe when you have an invitation, you know that there are multiple people will be coming in, they leave the door open so that whoever comes, Bismillah, feel free to come in. But still you need to say Assalamu alaikum, seek permission before you come in. The other thing, if you knock on the door and someone behind the door asks you, says, who's there? Don't say, it's me, which is what most people usually do these days. Your kids, they knock on the door, says, who's there? Say, it's me. It's me. One day the Prophet ﷺ had someone knocking on his door. And the Prophet, he asked, who's there? The man said, Ana ya Rasulullah, it's me. So the Prophet ﷺ says, Ana, كأنه كريها, which means me. Basically, who's me? Meaning, you need to mention your name. Even if it was your wife asking. Your wife is asking, you're knocking the door, and she's asking, who is there? Don't say, it's me, open the door. Just mention your name. Just mention your name, and then tell her, open the door. Well, how could she doesn't recognize my voice? Wallahi, that's your problem. Maybe because you're not talking enough to her, so she doesn't recognize your voice anymore. Eventually, you still need to mention your name. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, when he was asked who's there, قال أبو بكر فقلت على رسلك. He said, take it easy, wait for a second, let me ask permission from the Prophet ﷺ. Maybe the Prophet needed privacy. قال فاستأذن أبو بكر الصديق قلت يا رسول الله هذا أبو بكر يستأذن. This Abu Bakr, he's just seeking permission to come in. فقال صلى الله عليه وسلم إئذن له وبشره بالجنة. He says, let him come in, give him permission. And he gave him the glad tidings that he will be admitted to Al-Jannah. Allahu Akbar. If this is coming from the Prophet ﷺ, what do you call this? It's guaranteed, Jama'ah. That's a badge of honor. It's a green light, ticket, very important VIP pass to Al-Jannah. Still, we all know what Abu Bakr as-Siddiq did after that. He didn't just quit and retired early. He did everything possible just to prove that he deserved it, to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then, فقال له بشره بالجنة فأقبلت حتى قلت لأبي بكر ادخل ورسول الله يبشرك بالجنة. He says, come on in, and the Messenger of Allah is giving you good news that you will be admitted to Al-Jannah. فدخل أبو بكر حتى جلس عن يمين النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم معه في القف. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq came in and he sat just next to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم on that the water well platform on his right side, to the right side of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال ودل رجليه في البئر كما صنع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وكشف عن ساقيه. He did the same thing. So he grabbed his toe, raised them up, showing his shanks, basically dangling his legs into the water well. قال ثم رجعت وجلست. Abu Musa said, I went back again to guard the door. Then suddenly after that, قال وقد تركت أخي يتوضأ ويلحقني. He said, when I left home, I left my brother. He was making wudu and he was supposed to come and catch up with me so we can serve the Prophet ﷺ this day. And he said, فَقُلْتُ إِن يُرِدِ اللَّهُ بِفُلَانٍ خَيْرًا. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills good for my brother, he will come, he will catch up. Which means what? His brother will come and he will just say, Ya Rasulullah, my brother is asking permission. The Prophet might tell him, yeah, let him come in and give him the good news of Al-Jannah. So he was hoping for his brother. Subhanallah, قال فَإِذَا إِنسَانٌ يُحَرِّكُ الْبَابِ. Someone is moving the door, about to come in. فَقُلْتُ مَنْ هَذَا. I said, who's there? فَقَالَ عُمَرْ ibn الخطاب. Subhanallah. فَقُلْتُ عَلَى رِسْلِكَ. Said, take it easy, wait. ثم جئت إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فسلمت عليه وقلت يا رسول الله هذا عمر يستأذن. So this is Umar, is asking permission, Ya Rasulullah. قال أذن له وبشره بالجنة. Same thing, let him come in and give him the good news of getting into Al-Jannah. قال فجئت عمر فقلت له أذن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ويبشرك رسول الله بالجنة. You got the permission and you're going to be into Al-Jannah, inshallah. فدخل فجلس مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في القف عن يساره. This time he came in and he sat next to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم on his left side, and he did exactly the same thing, the same session, the same position. قال ثم رجعت فجلست. I went back again to guard the door for the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, and I remembered my brother. Says, يرد الله به خيرا يأتي به. If Allah was good for my brother, he will show up. He will come in. Then قال ثم فإذا إنسان يحرك الباب. Suddenly the door is moving right now again. فقلت من هذا? I said, who is there? Can you guys guess? Uthman. Subhanallah, the same order of the Khilafah. So Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala. فقلت على رسلك. I said, wait. So he came in, he asked permission for him. The Prophet said to him, إِذْنَ لَهُ وَبَشِّرْهُ بِالْجَنَّةِ عَلَى بَلْوَى تُصِيبُهُ. This is very specific. He said, إِذْنَ لَهُ. Give him the permission to come in. And he gave him the good news that he will be admitted to Al-Jannah. However, عَلَى بَلْوَى تُصِيبُهُ. After he being tried. After being tried, بَلْوَى تُصِيبُهُ means that he was going to be facing a calamity. He didn't tell him what was exactly the thing that he was be facing, but eventually he said, inform him that he will have that and he shall be going through tribulation. Eventually, when Abu Musa, he told him what the Prophet ﷺ said to him, قال الله المستعان. He said, Alhamdulillah, Wallahu المستعان. So he thanked Allah Azza wa Jal and said, Allah al-Musta'an. Then when Uthman was about to find a place for himself, فوجد القف قد امتلأ. He found it's already actually being completely occupied. No more space for him. He said there, قال فجلس وجاههم من الشق الآخر. He sat opposite to their side as he was watching them. رضي الله تعالى عنه وارضاه. And subhanallah, when Sa'id ibn Musayyib رضي الله تعالى عنه, one of the sub-narrators of the hadith, he was asked, how did you explain that? Basically, the Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar, and then Uthman being at distance from them. He says, قَالَ قُبُورُهُمْ. This is their order and their graves. Because Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was buried next to the Prophet ﷺ. Umar al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala exactly in the same position. And Uthman was buried actually somewhere. No one really knows exactly where Uthman was buried in Al-Baqir, in the cemetery of Medina. Eventually from this hadith, now we learn that if there is something good that people they need to know about, you should really give them the good news. Give them the good news. Regardless of the circumstances. Maybe something bad is happening, but there's always something good comes out of it, right? You give them the good news. So Bashirun Nas, whenever you hear something good that's coming for the community, alhamdulillah, let them know. Let them hear about it. That may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the khairat and the blessings on this community. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu Nabiyyina Muhammad wa sallam. Any question?
What's the significance of that well, and who's the person that was named after?
Aris, I'm not sure actually after whom the name was, this water well was named after, Allah Ta'ala Alam. But there is something significant about the Bir Aris. Besides this story as well, many years later, Uthman radiallahu ta'ala came one day. I don't know if he was coming to remember that incident, or he was just coming for the same reason the Prophet ﷺ would come, or anybody else would come, to take a shower, maybe refresh and so forth. So as he was making wudu, radiallahu anhu, the khatam, his silver ring, which was actually the silver ring of the Prophet ﷺ. It was the seal that the Prophet used to take as a state seal. The state seal which has Muhammadun Rasulullah. He used to have it in his hand because when the Prophet passed away, it was given to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and when he passed away, it was given to Umar. When he passed away, he gave it to Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So it was just like the seal of the state. Eventually, they sealed all these correspondences. Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one day he was in that area, and as he was making wudu, it slipped off his finger radiallahu anhu, or maybe he placed it out there, and then it just fell into the water well, and was lost forever. The ring of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad Rasulullah, was lost because of Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Now some of us might say, Allah yahdik ya Uthman. We could have had at least the Khatam of Rasulullah sallallahu today with us. Subhanallah. Even though they tried to recover that Khatam, that ring, they were unable to get it. Some of the ulama, they mentioned, subhanallah, it could be a mercy and rahmah from Allah Azza wa Jal. You know why? Because of the fight after the time of Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when the ummah was divided into groups. Imagine that someone got that ring, and the ring came into the wrong hand. they can now claim to have the state. And their correspondence is known into the region, will be coming through this actually now, official seal of the Prophet ﷺ, and they will claim the sovereignty of the land. But it's the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that it was lost, so that anyone who's going to come later to claim the state, they're going to have to invent and make up their own seal. But that's a hikmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some of us might say right now, okay, since we have all the technology and all, mashallah, yani all these imaging machines and so forth, couldn't we just go and excavate and try to find it? Allahu A'lam, don't ask me. Ask the authorities over there. But since it's 1400 years already, Allahu Ta'ala if it's still in the same place. Wallahu A'lam.
That's in the same hadith is mentioned about when Usman came in. Prophet changed his position.
That's not. Is it the same hadith when the Prophet ﷺ was sitting and then he revealed his thigh and then the Prophet ﷺ changed his position? The answer is no. That was Aisha who narrated that, and it was in her house. When the Prophet was leaning actually on his side. And you know, when you sit down sometimes casually on your side and then your legs basically one on the other, and then you reveal your legs somehow goes all the way up to the thighs. That was the position. Wallahu a'lam. Yes.
So how come they have pictures of that ring?
How come they have a picture of that ring? They say, Wallahu ta'ala alam, that the ring, since they recovered one of these letters that the Prophet ﷺ sent to these foreign nations back then, specifically the one in Egypt. When he sent the letter to the king of the Egyptians back then, they still have an original of the parchment, and it was preserved in one of these monasteries or churches of the Coptic churches all these years. That's why they see now they can have actually an image of that scene. Wallahu a'lam. No. نعم.
Is it like the name is like Bani Israel?
لا ما أظن له علاقة ببني إسرائيل. أريس. الله أعلم. I'm not sure actually what is the exact meaning of it, but I'm gonna go and check it out inshallah ta'ala. Maybe I'll bring you the news inshallah tomorrow. Inshallah the good news. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك.